Alright guys, what is up? It's your Beast here. Welcome back to some more Pokemon Wi-Fi battle stuff. This match right here is another match here against a guy from Smogon. And as you can see on my team, I've got a pretty interesting team going on here. I've got that standard Firegrass Water Core as usual, and my team is pretty offensive as well. Most of my pokes are offensive. The only defensive poke I've got on my team is obviously my Jellicent. And also I've got a Black Kyurem on my team because it recently dropped onto OU, and I figured I might as well just try it out. And this guy is obviously using a rain team because, I mean, almost everyone are using rain teams in OU nowadays, which is pretty sad because that doesn't make any variation in Gen 5 OU. But yeah, this game was still pretty cool, so hope you guys will enjoy it. But the main threats on this guy's team is the Jirachi because, you know, the rain and steel types and the resistance to fire is just annoying as hell, and the only weakness that the Jirachi has with the rain is pretty much ground, and the only thing that I have on my team that does have a ground type move is Aerodactyl, so I'm gonna have to try to do something about that. So my opponent is gonna go ahead and lead off with the Jirachi, which is pretty strange actually. I was expecting him to lead off with his Politoed, but I don't know really. He's gonna set on his Gliscor right now and go for the Stealth Rocks at first turn. And I was like, okay, maybe this thing is gonna go for the Earthquake. I do have the Focus Sash on this thing, so I'm really not too afraid of taking a hit because I know I can live it easily. And Overheat, unfortunately, does not take it out of there. I was expecting. God, okay. Let's try this again. I was expecting it to take it out of there because Gliscor does have pretty terrible special defense, and Infernape does have that pretty good special attack, but he still lives it somehow, which is pretty strange. But now he's gonna switch out of there, and he's gonna set on his Politoed. Now, what I should have done, I should have probably stayed in and went for the Endeavor with my Infernape, because Endeavor on Infernape is really nice because I would have got him down to 1 HP, and I could have taken that thing out of there with a Vacuum Wave, and that would have been another easy KO from that point. And I mean, if I would have taken out that Politoed right there and then, that would have been amazing. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I do switch out of there and find my Aerodactyl. And the Aerodactyl is also a pretty cool set that I came up with myself. But I'm going to go ahead and go for the Taunt on his Gliscor because I did not want him to, you know, go for the Toxic on me or some shit. And it turns out that it does have the Thunder Fang, and I go for the Surf. And the reason why I have the Surf over the Scald is because with my luck, I never seem to burn with the Scald, but my dumbass doesn't have Will-O-Wisp over Toxic, so that's just kind of stupid. I should probably put it on for the next time, just to kind of make up for the fact that I do not have the Scald. So what he's gonna do right here, he's gonna make a good play, switch out into his Jirachi, predicting my switch out into something that could take on his Raikou, and that is indeed what's gonna happen. I'm gonna set on my Kyurem, and this is obviously a really bad matchup because I do not have the Earthquake on this Kyurem. So I'm gonna have to switch out of there into my Genesect because Jirachi is actually a huge threat on this team right here because I only have one poke that could potentially take it on, and that is Aerodactyl, and that's the only thing that has a super effective or a solid super effective move. This Genesect does have the Flamethrower, but since the rain is up, it's not gonna be too effective at all. So I'm gonna U-turn out of there into my Jellicent because I wanted to get off a burn on this thing until I realized that I did not have the Scald on this thing or the Will-O-Wisp, so that was really just stupid right there. And I realized how bad I am at this game, or at least when I'm building teams at the middle of the night, because I made this team like at 3 AM in the morning, and I mean I really couldn't think properly when I was doing this. So you gotta go ahead and go for the Iron Head as I go for the Surf, and it's not gonna, well actually it's gonna do a pretty decent chunk, but you know the rain is up, so that thing is also pretty bulky, so it's not gonna really do too much in general. So you gotta go ahead and go for the U-turn. It's not gonna do shit to me obviously because Jellicent is a beast, and it also resists the U-turn right here. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna go for the Recover, and I see that it sends in its Latios, I'm sorry. And I was really hoping this thing was not a Calm Mind one because that would really just screw me over. So I figured Genesect would be the best thing to switch into because I do resist both of his stabs, and this Side Shock right here is not going to really do too much. And I was hoping that I would be able to bluff the Scarf on this thing, and that is indeed what's going to happen. And he's going to switch out of there into his Jirachi. And I go for the Ice Beam this turn, which I probably should have not have done because U-turn would have done enough, so I could have sent in something else and taken that thing out of there. But right here I reveal that I'm not scarfed, and like a dumbass I go for the flamethrower again, and he gets for the thunder wave, and like he did before, or at least tried to do before on my Jellicent, he's gonna go for that stupid annoying flinch parahex thing, and that is just really annoying. Because especially with his Surround Grace, that does boost his chance of flinching me, and I'm paralyzed, so you know that's gonna really be annoying. But I believe I actually managed to break through both of those one of these upcoming turns. I think this turn right here managed to get off a U-turn, which is amazing, so that means I can preserve this thing as a death fodder later on. And did you just see that U-turn damage? I could have went for the U-turn before, and could have just set on this thing right here. Went for the Bolt Strike, which would have easily finished off his Jirachi, and I could have just saved my Genesect for a longer period of time, but of course I'm a dumbass and I don't do that, you know. So I go for the Bolt Strike right here and take that thing out of there. As he sends in his Latios again, or Latios. God, I'm sorry, I'm just so used to say Latios instead of Latios, because Latios is obviously a much more common poke in OU. But right here, he actually just kind of confuses me with the hidden power fighting right here. I was expecting maybe a Dragon Pulse, but it turns out that it does not have it, and he's Life Orb as well, and it does a lot to me. If he would have had the Dragon Pulse, he would have definitely killed me off, but he does not. So I go for that Freeze Shock, and I do have the Power Herb, so I'm gonna be able to get off that turn 1, so that was pretty amazing. I was just really intending to just fodder out my Kyurem, because I looked at his team, and Kyurem isn't really too fast at all. It's got a decent speed set, but it's not really that great compared to other pokes in OU. So I figured I might as well just fodder it out, because things like his Tornadus might have the Focus Blast, and especially when the Stealth Rocks are up, he's probably gonna be able to take me out with another Hurricane after I switch it in next time with the Stealth Rock damage and stuff. So he's gonna go ahead and go for the Ice Beam, I believe. I'm not quite sure what happened right there before, but something happened and I kind of missed it. But goes for the Ice Beam on my Jellicent, and right here it kind of surprises me. I did not expect the Prepare Song at all, because I really don't see that too much really on rain teams, but I guess some Polytoads do run Perish Song. I guess it can be useful in some situations like this, because he really can't do much against my Jellicent, because Jellicent is just a big fat blob, I guess. So what he's gonna do right here, I think he's just gonna continue going for like the Ice Beam or some shit, because he knows that he cannot go for the Surf, obviously, because I do have the Water Absorb, and he just kind of wants to stall at the turns. And I look at this right here, I get the Parahax three times in a row, and I was like, god damn it, it would have been very useful if I would have got off at least one Surf on that Raikou right there, because that would have actually been pretty useful, because I would have had a much greater chance to just take that thing out of there. But fortunately, though, I do have this Aerodactyl, and I believe I'm actually gonna go for the Earthquake right here. I did not think that he would send on his what's it called, Tornadus, because it is way too risky. I could easily predict that and go for the Stun Edge and just take out his Tornadus. So I thought that he would not do that. But right here, he kind of makes another risky play, sends in his Tornadus after all, because he kind of realizes that I'm choice, I guess. But you know, it kind of works out on his part, because he does resist it and stuff. And what I'm gonna do right here, I'm gonna just fodder out Larry, and he's gonna go for the Hidden Power Ice or something. I'm not quite sure what that is. It's not gonna really matter that much though. But I'm gonna go ahead and send out the Jellicent right here. And I was hoping to God that I would get off a Surf, because I would have killed off his Politoed. But of course I do not. I get another Parahax. A Parahax was annoying in this game, because apparently the Hex gods in this game really hate me, and therefore they decided to give me 3 Parahaxes in a row on my Jellicent. So that was just kind of stupid. But finally I'm able to get off a Surf on his Tornadus right there. And I'm not quite sure why he sends in his Tornadus right into my Surf. I guess he was predicting my switch out or something, but I don't know. I do take out his Tornadus, which is amazing. Now, check this out. He sends in his Raikou, and he freaking OHKOs my Jellicent with the Thunder right there. That was just pretty amazing. I was actually pretty impressed from that, because, I mean, Jellicent does have that pretty decent bulk, but then again, I am weak to it. I'm not really especially defensive in any way, and you know, it's stab, and it's super effective, and it's base 120, and it's life orbed. So at this point, it's pretty much a good game. He's only got this Podjo left, and I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake and take this thing out of there. And by the way, if you didn't notice, my Aerodactyl was Choice Scarfed, and Choice Scarfed Aerodactyl is it's pretty beast actually. It's been working out pretty well for me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Leave a like rating if you did, and I will see you guys later. Peace.